What's up guys, and welcome back to part 2 of how to save a lot of money fast. Now to be honest, I didn't even think that video needed a part 2, but in that video I went over some practical tips on how to stop spending money, and today I think I want to go deep and look for the reasons why people feel that need to spend money and address those reasons so we're less anxious and we want to spend less money. One of the biggest reasons why people spend a lot of money is because they want to escape their realities. They want to build a life that's not theirs. I'm not talking about the guy who has a beer after work or goes out with his friends on the weekends or takes a trip on vacation. Those things are okay. In fact, they're not only okay, they're necessary, because in order for us to keep going and remain productive and not have a breakdown, we gotta change it up every once in a while and put our minds on different things so we can kind of relax and keep going with our daily activities. What I am talking about is the people who eat out every day, the people who buy a car they obviously cannot afford, the people who do everything to try to alleviate the suffering that they have every day, and they try to build a life that's obviously out of their budget. One of the second biggest problems, and this is a huge one for me to this day, is buying things because that's easier than doing things. And that goes from the way we dress to buying sports equipment to support the clubs we like, and you name it. Anything that you do to represent the things you like and you believe in. We as people are always looking for symbols because they're tangible, they're concrete. And for a while, those symbols, which are often objects we buy, they do take that place in our mind, and we have the illusion that they are representing us. Easy example. Not too long ago, I bought an MTV hat because I am a fan of the MTV Unplugged series. Now, what I could have done was maybe buy a music history book, or even just read online about the series and the history of the bands, or practiced guitar, or in any way I could have gotten it involved with musical activities. In fact, that would have given me skills that would have been time well spent, but instead I decided to focus all that energy and all that money on buying a hat because I thought that people on the street would know that I'm a fan of the series. So if you buy something, sure, for a while it'll work for you and it'll represent you. But if you build yourself in that area, you'll gain skills, you'll have stories to tell your grandkids, and overall, that's just a lot better for you, and you won't spend money, which is the purpose of this video. So my solution to the first problem, which is escaping reality, is kind of a mental exercise. Now we gotta understand that most of us are not forced to be where we are in life right now. At least not completely forced. We weren't enslaved. That's not why we're here. In one way or another, we ended up here because of our choices. And you gotta think back and see if the reasons why you made those choices still stand true. Do you still believe in what led you to the job you're at right now? Think back to that moment. Maybe you chose that job because you thought you would learn something, or because you would work around people that you like, or you liked the company's philosophy. Are those things still true? If they are, what I recommend you do is try to reboot. Try to take it as if it were the first day at the job again. Try to change things up, make it more interesting, and you'll get busy, and your mind will get busy, and you'll start to enjoy your daily life a lot more. If those things aren't true anymore, it's time to move on and find something else. I know that's easier said than done, but it's not impossible, and you just take it step by step. Do your best in that final period at your job, but look for something else. And this goes for not only job, anything in life that's bothering you right now and that makes you want to escape life. You should work on changing that if it doesn't work for you anymore. Now the solution to the second problem, which is buying things instead of living experiences, I kind of already got into that before while I was talking about the problem, but here's another solution. You just wait, because what you'll notice is that your cravings to buy things Your anxiety is cyclical. Whether you buy something or not, 2 weeks later you'll want something else. And the thing that you bought before will become irrelevant or not as exciting anymore. So how about you try just waiting and not buying? You'll notice that either way you'll move on to something else and you'll be like, wow, I'm glad I didn't buy that. And eventually you'll go through so many of those cycles that it'll just become second nature to not buy stuff. And actually what happened in my case is my anxiety naturally lowered itself, because it's kind of like my brain and my body noticed that I wasn't going to buy that stuff, so it was no use getting anxious. It was no use browsing online to look at it and crave it. It was no use window shopping. I now just kind of blow by these things. Whenever I have a slight idea of buying something, I just think about whether it's useful or not, and whether it can really bring me an experience or add something to my life. And more often than not, it can't. So I just pass on it altogether. Obviously, there are exceptions. Some things like taking a trip or buying a book, those things will really add to your life. So use common sense and decide whether you'll be buying something because that's easy, or you'll be spending money to live an experience, and you just decide for yourself. And before I go, I just want to go back to something I already touched on in the last video, and that is that people will criticize you no matter what. If you're saving money, they'll call you cheap, they'll call you stingy, they'll say that you got to live your life more. And if you spend money, they'll try to make you feel bad for it. They'll say that you're wasting your money. They'll try to show that whatever they have or whatever they did is better than what you have or what you did. So don't even bother trying to compare yourself to them. We live different lives, and you should really spend your money on what you need and what's important for you, and make sure you're not wasting it. So that's kind of like my final message. I hope it helps. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.